Okay, I was born in Australia, in a suburb of Sydney called Strathfield. I believe it was a small private hospital, but I can't remember the name of it if I ever knew. Yeah, my first name Ian is a very common Scottish name. It denotes my heritage. That's why I was called Ian. Gordon was a bit more complicated. Gordon was my dad's best friend, and he and Dad were in the same training platoon in the Second World War. And a week after Dad was transferred from the army to the Air Force, Gordon and most of his platoon were killed in a training accident when a bomb went off. So Dad called me Gordon to remember him. I had a nickname. Dad called me Snowy, mainly because the colour of my hair. You wouldn't know now, but yeah. So and then he changed it later. He used to just say Snow. Probably one of my favourite pastimes, which I used to do, was go on steam train rides. Those days in the outer suburbs, there were still steam trains, and I would, maybe a Saturday afternoon, I could go off and take whatever money I had and buy a school kid's concession ticket, and might go out to a place like Richmond or Camden. Or then when I got a bit older, I got a bit braver. I'd sneak out at night and catch sort of mail trains or milk trains and things, like go down to Wollongong at 1 o'clock in the morning, get back in time for breakfast without my mum and dad even knowing I was gone. Or I'd go up to Gosford on the paper train, and that was good fun, sort of getting down to Central Station at 1 o'clock in the morning and getting on this little one carriage on the back of a goods train with a bunch of drunks going home after a late night out. Yeah, that was a memory. Yeah, the first car I bought when I was 17, about 3 months after I got my licence, was a Ford Prefect. 1948 Ford Prefect was a tiny little four-seater car with a tiny little engine. There were some hills around where we lived that were so steep that you couldn't go up them even in first gear. So sometimes you could turn around and reverse up them, but it was easier just to go around and find a better road. Then I bought an MGTC, which was an open sports car. The day after I bought it, my dad said, "Don't you take that car out until you get the insurance organised." But I thought I'd just go around the block. So I went around the block, and one of the front axles broke and the wheel fell off. Took the mudguard with it, and yeah, so I drove around with that with a bent up mudguard for about 6 months until I could finally afford to buy a new mudguard and put that on. Then I sold that, and then I bought a beautiful little Austin Healey Sprite, which was my pride and joy. Took it to Queensland, to the Gold Coast, and had a fabulous time there. And coming home, I was demonstrating to my passenger Brian that how well I could slide it through corners in the wet, because it was a rainstorm, and unfortunately it ended up backing into a telegraph pole at about 80 kilometres an hour. Dragged it home on a trailer, fixed it up, then no one would insure it because they had a bad record then, so I couldn't get insurance for it, so I had to sell it. I think if my parents had a message for their children and grandchildren, it would be to look after each other, look after your family. And I know my dad would probably say that whatever you choose to do in life, make sure you do it well, and if you're going to do something, if something's worth doing, make sure you do it well. That's what he used to say to me.